Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is your boy Fitzwong TV here, aka GLauren33. I am back here today with another video in the channel for y'all, and today we're going to be doing something special. We are going to be going through the entire Moro saga. This is not a review, this is not a reaction. Consider this more of a narration or, a flat out summary. I know some of you guys don't have time to read the manga, right? And some of you guys have been asking me to do this since the beginning of this arc. I've never done something like this before. But today we're going to be going through the entire Moro saga. So you're going to get, it narrated by me, right? I'm not going to be doing the lines of the voice actors. I'm not a voice actor. Consider me more of the narrator, right? I'm going to tell you guys the story of the Moro saga through all the panels, through every single chapter, right? This was about a 25 chapter arc, and in my opinion, it was the best arc of Dragon Ball Super. So, just sit back, relax, grab some popcorn, grab a drink, and just, chill out and listen to the story of the Moro saga, right? I know a lot of you guys are going to be looking at this after maybe months or years down the line, so I'm kind of excited to do this. I know there's gonna be a lot of people watching this video, and you guys know how much I love Dragon Ball, so to be able to do this, man, this is pretty cool. One of the cooler things I've done. So you guys know, for those of you guys who have been subscribed, I've been following the Moro saga since its inception, right? Covering it, reviewing it every single week. And man, to see from the start to finish, I reread the arc before recording this, man. And it was absolutely the best arc of Dragon Ball Super. It's not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but still, man, I love it. I love it a lot, and I hope you guys love it as well, no matter if you guys are reading it for the first time or the 10th time, right? So either way, man, we're gonna get into this video. So this is the Moro saga, aka the Galactic Prisoner saga, narrated by me. So let's get into it. Let's go. So our story begins in Dragon Ball Super manga chapter 42, right? It follows the end of the Tournament of Power, where we see Goku and company be able to not only save Universe 7, but also save all the other universes from destruction thanks to Android 17's unselfish wish. So in the manga, right, the manga skips the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. It just says, if you want to see the events of what happened with that story, go watch Dragon Ball Super Broly. So the events of the Dragon Ball Super Broly film are the same in the manga. There's really no big difference here. So we know that Broly is still out there. We know that Frieza is still out there. So some time passes after the Broly movie. We don't know how much time, but we do know some time flies. Hopefully we'll get, some concrete, a concrete picture, sometime, soon, of how much time passes between the Broly movie and the beginning of the Moro saga. But after the Broly movie, after some time, we see Goku appears at Capsule Corp to train with Vegeta, right? Vegeta asks Goku where has he been, but Goku's just like, oh, So we see Goku and Vegeta, they're training in Vegeta's training chamber, and Vegeta asks Goku, what happened to Ultra Instinct? And Goku's like, nothing, he hasn't been able to do it since the Tournament of Power. And Vegeta's like, a technique that you can't tap into at will, it must be useless, right? And Goku's like, yeah, guess there's no shortcuts in training, we just gotta keep going our normal routes. So as Goku and Vegeta are training, right, they get an alert from Bulma, and something's happening over at Capsule Corp, right? So Goku believes, are we looking at new villains? Let's see. So Goku, takes Vegeta's hand to use instant transmission, but Vegeta, of course, doesn't want to do it. He believes he can get to Hercules' place quicker than Goku can use instant transmission. So we pan on over to Hercules' place, and we see that Hercule is very angry because he sees that Majin Buu is being taken away by an individual wearing a Galactic Patrol outfit, right? So Hercule tries to stop this guy with his gun, but of course, it has no effect. So this individual takes out a special, laser weapon and he's able to back Hercule up. He's not trying to hurt Hercule, he's just trying to get him to stop, his nonsense and his fussing. So Goku gets over there with instant transmission, and Vegeta arrives at basically the same amount of time, right? So Hercule is very happy to see Goku and Vegeta there. So we see Goku, Hercule explains that, these guys are trying to take Hercule away, right? And then this mysterious individual is like, Goku and Vegeta? The Goku and Vegeta? So we see Goku takes out a bunch of the Galactic Patrol, a bunch of the Galactic Patrolmen, right? And then this individual appears right behind Goku and easily takes Goku out. Goku falls unconscious. So somebody as strong as Goku, maybe even stronger, right? Goku's not even transformed, but we know Goku in his base form is very powerful. And for Goku to get taken out so easily, right, shocks Hercule and Vegeta. So before, Vegeta is in shock. Before Vegeta can even make a move, this individual appears, behind Vegeta, and Vegeta falls unconscious as well, right? So this individual says he'll explain everything to Goku and Vegeta back at HQ. So we see some time passes, and Goku wakes up right from his short nap. So does Vegeta, and we see our old buddy Jackal appear in front of them, right? So Jackal explains to Goku and Vegeta that they are at the Galactic headquarters, right? And we find out that this individual that attacked them on Earth and put them to sleep was his name is Mirrors, right? Mirrors, depending on if you guys are watching this for the first time or if you guys have been following the Moro arc, pay attention to Mirrors, because Mirrors would become one of the key players. Some people would even call he may be the MVP of this arc. So we see, Mirrors explains that the reason why they were taking Majin Buu from Earth is because they needed his help in a cause, because Majin Buu is connected to the Dai Kaio-Shen. And that is how the first chapter of this arc ends. So moving into manga chapter 43. Right, the first full chapter of the Moro Saga, called Joining the Galactic Patrol. So we get a flashback, right? We go back tens of millions of years ago. A lot of time passed, way before Goku and Vegeta and all these individuals. I don't even know if Beerus was alive during this time. But we see the Dai Kaio-Shen, right? We see the Dai Kaio-Shen. He is fighting with other Supreme Kais, and they're in a ferocious battle. They are very heavily damaged, and we see that there's debris everywhere. And we see that there is an individual who is wearing a hood, but he has a sinister smile on his face, and he is laughing at, all the pain he is causing. We can see that he's using these special abilities to take power and energy from planets and being able to, make his own energy balls in them. He's destroying planets as described by the Dai Kaio-Shen. He then takes the energy, right, makes it into a smaller form, and then he devours it. He eats it, right? He eats it. So basically we see after he eats it, this individual becomes much stronger, sending out, sinister energy all over the place. So then, as we see there are other, Galactic Police members standing by to try to help themselves. So one of the Galactic policemen say this is Planet Eater Moro, and they state that he's been charged with the destruction of a certain star system, bringing about the mass extinction of over 320 planets. So they talk about how nasty a villain he is and how he has to be stopped, right? So then basically we see the Dai Kaio-Shen. He prepares a special sealing technique. This technique is very dangerous, right? And he does it so he could stop Moro's magic ability, because Moro's magic ability is how he's mainly able to, drain planets and take their energy. So we see he performs the technique because he knows he cannot defeat Moro in a battle of strength. And the technique lands on Moro, and we see he's defeated. They are able to lock Moro up in a cage, right? And Moro gets sent over to the Galactic Prison. So Mirrors explains to Goku and Vegeta that Moro is a very capable fighter, even without his magic, and that he was sentenced to death. But the thing about it is, this was tens of millions of years ago. There was no Goku and Vegeta at the time, right? So there was nobody that was strong enough to actually kill him. So he was given life imprisonment. So basically, Vegeta asks if Moro is still alive after all these years, and Mirror says yes, right? So then Mirror explains that Mirror was able to regain a little bit of his magic power. Not nowhere near his full power, but he was able to gain a little bit of his power. So now he was able to escape the galactic prison. So basically then Vegeta asks, what does this all have to do with Mirror and the Galactic Patrol taking Majin Buu? Well, Mirror explains that 5 million years after Moro's capture, so you can do 5 million years, absolutely crazy, right? But 5 million years after Moro's capture, right, the Daikaoshin got absorbed by Majin Buu, right? That's Evil Buu. We already know this from all the way back in Dragon Ball Z. So, the thing about it is, Goku already knew that, but Vegeta didn't. So we get that little explanation there. So they're trying to use Majin Buu to get in contact with the Daikaoshin so they could use his powers to, seal Moro away once again. And, Goku explains to Jacko that, there's nothing you could do to wake up Majin Buu. He'll just wake up on his own time, right? So then Jacko and Mirror ask Goku and Vegeta, if they can help out with the problem. And Goku gets excited because, Goku's getting the opportunity to be able to fight another strong opponent. Even though this guy is bad news, he's still, excited to do it, right? So Vegeta, he accepts also joining the Galactic Patrol, but Vegeta also is wondering about this Mirror's guy, right? Vegeta's thinking about how he couldn't read his energy and he couldn't read his movements when he was able to get behind him and Goku back on Earth and send them unconscious. So Vegeta's like, who is this guy? He's not a weakling, but why can I read his energy? So then Goku and Vegeta get taken to the Galactic King. And remember, the Galactic King knows who Goku and Vegeta are because he came to watch Goku and Vegeta in battle when they had the Universe 6 tournament earlier in Dragon Ball Super. So we see, Goku and Vegeta get these special outfits, right? There's a special ceremony putting them into the Galactic Patrol as very special soldiers. And, they get offered to wear, Galactic Patrol outfits like Jacko and the rest of the Galactic Patrolmen, but instead Goku and Vegeta refuse. So instead they just get the logo of the Galactic Patrol onto their normal gis, which still looks pretty cool if you ask me. So then we see we find out news that there's this Mediarchie gang, right? This Mediarchie gang, they're causing trouble in another part of the universe, and Mirror has been sent over to take care of the problem. Goku and Vegeta want to come, and the main reason why Vegeta wants to go is he wants to see what Mirror is, in action. How does he look, right? Because Vegeta is still thinking about, how Mirror was able to get him and Vegeta, or get both Vegeta and Goku unconscious back on Earth while using or setting off any energy. So we move to this planet, right? It's called Planet Jung, and we see the Mediarchie gang. It's these 3 individuals right over here, and they're trying to steal these special resources, right? And then one of the gang members noticed the Galactic Patrol ship, and then we see Mirror, prepare to go into battle. Goku and Vegeta are watching from, the ship themselves. They're mainly focused on what Mirror is and trying to see his power. So, the leader of the gang themselves, right, named Pasta. We know that Toriyama loves naming characters after food. It's simple for him, and I don't have a problem with it. So, Pasta says, hey, Mirror, it's been too long, friend. And Mirror, says, I'm not punching out today until you 3 are locked up in Galactic Prison. So we see the Galactic Patrolman, right, Mirror, he's about to attack, but then the gang member throws a pistol right after Mirror, right? So then the thing falls. It doesn't have any impact really, but instead we see the bridge between two of the crates on the train. They get split apart. So Pasta uses this as an opportunity to try to get away from Mirrors, so Mirrors cannot catch him. Right. So then we see another one of the gang members. She has a stretchy ability. Her name is Penne. So yeah, I really like that, right? The head gang member is called Pasta. His sister is called Penne. So named after different pastas and spaghettis. So he sends the track that Mirrors was standing on onto a different track to try to separate, and gain distance away from Mirrors so Mirrors can't catch them, right? So then after this, Pasta, fires an explosive at the track that Mirrors is on. So basically setting it up for the train to, fall, so Mirrors would basically fall to his death. And Pasta is very, confident that Mirrors won't be able to do anything now. But Mirrors, of course, has no worries. We see he's able to fly with these like little jetpacks on the soles of his feet. So Mirrors tells Jacko that he's going after the Blue Iridium and trying to, get that away from the Mariachi gang. Goku and Vegeta stay on the ship, and they notice that Mirrors is gone. So he's moving very quickly. We then see Mirrors, right? He is running along the tracks, and he heads to the front of the train itself, and he asks them, where did they go? And then Jakku yells at Mirrors that not only are the Mariachi gang gone, but the Blue Iridium is gone as well. We see, they are on their own spaceship, right? And they are carrying the Blue Iridium trying to get away. So then we see Goku, right? Goku flies into action, and Goku jumps on top of the ship, and he tells them that they are not, getting away. Goku tells Mirrors that, I caught the bad guys, and Mirrors thanks Goku for the assist. Vegeta continues to watch from the spaceship, not getting involved because he's more focused on Mirrors and how fast, he's moving. And Vegeta gets frustrated with himself, for not being able to see Mirrors sabotage the ship and move so quickly, right? So thanks to the help of Goku, Jacko, and Mirrors, right, Vegeta didn't really do anything but observe. But thanks to their help, right, they are able to lock up the Mariachi gang on the ship. So Vegeta then confronts Mirrors, and basically, he's like, you're hiding your true powers, right? My eyes don't lie. So Vegeta wants to know what's the big secret behind Mirrors' abilities. And Mirrors says that he is number one in the Galactic Patrol, but Moro is in an underleague altogether, so he can't beat him by himself, right? And Jacko gets a little bit frustrated about Mirrors just casually stating how he's number one in the Galactic Patrol, right? So then one of the other galactic patrolmen on the ship report that they got a lock on Moro's location, right? So Goku gets excited that they've been able to find Moro so quickly, and Goku just says, I'll do the search on my own, just give me that direction. So Goku, of course, using his instant transmission ability, starts searching for some sinister energy, and he is able to get a lock on Moro's location, right? And Goku is very shocked to see that it seems that Moro is also able to notice that someone is looking for him, right? Moro and Goku have not met yet, but Goku gets very freaked out that Moro was able to figure out that somebody was searching for his energy so easily. So moving to chapter 44, this is titled Escape Prisoner Moro. So Goku, right, is still in shock that Moro was able to notice that someone was searching for his ki so easily, and then Goku tells Vegeta not to search for his ki as well, because Goku tells Vegeta that he could sense that Moro knew that he was searching for him, right? Goku says this is an energy that he's never felt before because it feels so evil, right? Even though the energy is not huge like some of the other opponents they fought, like Jiren or Broly, excuse me, but Goku does says this is an energy that he's never felt before, because the energy that he sensed was like a lot of people screaming in pain. So this is kind of similar to Cell, right? If you guys remember when Cell absorbed a lot of people at the beginning of the Cell Saga in DBZ, and when he confronted Piccolo and the androids who were fighting, when Cell started to power up, Piccolo could sense so many different energies screaming, the energies of all the innocent humans that have lost their lives to Cell to make him stronger. So this is a nice little Easter egg here, right? So Goku asks us how many people has he killed, and Mirrors and Jackal state that it's not about how many people, it's more about how many planets, and they state that it's far too many to count. So then we transition to a ship, right? And we see an old member of the Frieza Force, I believe his name is Cranberry, and we see Moro, who is a very big man. He's still wearing the same outfit he was wearing tens of millions of years ago. You can see it's ripped up, it's damaged, right? It looks like he hasn't showered in ages. He has a humongous beard from all the years he's been in the Galactic Prison. And Moro speaks to Cranberry, and he states that someone is searching for him, And Moro's talking to Cranberry, and he says that in his time away, so talk about his time that he was locked up, he talks about how life has managed to grow and sprout throughout this universe, right? So basically Cranberry states that they have almost arrived to their destination, so Moro just has to hang tight and he'll get the wishes that he wants. And Moro says, indeed, I can hardly wait. So Jackal and Mirrors start speculating on where Moro could be heading, and Mirrors states that there are no planets with life in that direction. What do you think he wants? But Goku says that he's been out that way before, which shocks Vegeta. And Vegeta asks when, what's over there? And Goku says that he's pretty confident that, that's where he went to see Dende. And Vegeta says that's where the Namekians moved to. Because remember, after the Frieza Saga, after Namek was destroyed, the Namekians did get a new home world. It was called New Namek. Very similar to the old Namek, but it was put in a different location that would be more difficult, right, for, other people to find. Because they knew that if other individuals knew about Namek, they would also know that Namek had Dragon Balls. And that would bring a lot of, evil beings over to Namek. And the Namekians and the Earthlings don't want that, right? And then the Meta-Archie gang, which were captured, right, by Mirrors just a couple of minutes before, Pasta states that he hears that those Namekians got some wish-granting bros, right? And Jackal says, wish-granting balls? You must be talking about the Dragon Balls, yes? And Pasta says, yes. Back when he was doing time in the Galactic Prison, one of his prisoners was a deserter from Frieza's army. That was Cranberry, right? You guys saw him. He was flying the ship. He told me a tale or two, and Cranberry had told Pasta that a guy that Frieza once went to Namek looking for these balls. So Vegeta gets angry because more of, Frieza's old soldiers are causing trouble. So Pasta, Pasta says that at first he didn't believe in the Dragon Balls and he thought it was just a tale. But because of Goku and Vegeta's reactions now, there's more truth to the matter than they thought, right? So that former goon of Frieza's was looking for someone strong enough to help him find the Dragon Balls, and that's how he found Moro. Moro was easily the strongest in the Galactic Prison. So Moro is going Vegeta states that Moro is most likely going to Namek to try to find the Dragon Balls. Alright. So now this easily, gets Mirrors and Jackal very concerned, because now they want to know, what the hell is Moro gonna wish for, right? And they find out that he's most likely gonna wish for his magic to return. So then we transition back to Moro and Cranberry, and they just start discussing the Dragon Balls. Cranberry explains the power of the Dragon Balls on Namek, and how, they grant 3 wishes to whoever uses them. So there's enough for Moro to get his wish, and for Cranberry to get a wish of his own. So it makes sense for them to team up together so they can both get what they want. So we arrive at a new planet Namek, and we see the Grand Elder, right? He is the new Grand Elder, because we know the original Grand Elder, he died way back in Dragon Ball Z. But the new Grand Elder, he's with some of the other Namekian children, and we see that they are praying to one of the Dragon Balls, hoping for peace, right? Peace for everybody across the galaxy, including everyone on their planet. So all of a sudden, some of the other Namekians notice that there is a ship, something arriving on planet Namekian. So Goku says, what do we do, right? Moro's gonna touch down on New Namek any minute now. So Vegeta's like, we can't wait around for Buu to wake up to get access to the Dai Kaioken. So Goku's like, whatever we do, we already know whatever we do, he already knows to expect us, so might as well go right now, right? So Vegeta's like, yes, I want to get a look at this villain with my own eyes. So then Goku takes Vegeta's hand, and Goku prepares to do instant transmission, right? Mirrors warns Goku and Vegeta, to be very careful, because confronting Moro right now is very dangerous. So we see Goku and Vegeta, they arrive on New Namek, and then the Namekians there ask, who is this? Goku says hi, and then the Grand Elder right away recognizes Goku, and he's like, oh, son Goku, it's wonderful to see you in good health, right? So as Goku is, being friendly with the Grand Elder, Vegeta notices right away about about Moro's ship that is touching down. So Moro notices right away that the one that was looking for him earlier, which was Goku, has come to this planet. So Moro, assumes that the reason why he is here, Goku is here, is to apprehend him and take him back to prison, because he had just escaped earlier. Moro also notices that Goku and Vegeta both have spectacular energy. So Goku tells the Grand Elder to tell all the Namekians, to get away from here, because, some dangerous stuff is about to take place. Goku tells Vegeta that he has a very bad feeling about this. So as, Moro's ship lands on the planet, we see Moro come out, right? Goku and Vegeta are very shocked, at his appearance. Vegeta comments that, Moro looks nothing more than a feeble old man. And Goku says it makes sense because, he's been alive for a very young time. We also see Cranberry, who is, still in the ship, right? He recognizes Vegeta, probably because, he knows Vegeta was one of the top soldiers in Frieza's army way back in the day. So Goku, tells Moro it's better that he should just go right back to prison. But Moro ignores him. But Moro, using his magic ability, is able to sense that there is a Namekian hiding in the house next to him. And he uses his energy to force the, most likely telekinesis, right? He forces the young Namekian boy to come right at him, and he starts, choking him, right? Goku gets very concerned. And, Vegeta believes that, Moro is going to hold him as a hostage if they don't let him go. But Moro says, no, this is not, a hostage. I just want, his energy to eat for myself, because we know that Moro is a planet eater. So he continues to choke him, right? And Goku, he gets a vein that pops up in his forehead, and it looks like Goku is moving to attack Moro to try to get him to stop. But Vegeta kicks Moro's hand and frees the child. So Vegeta saves, Eska, right? We would come to find out his name a little bit later, but his name is Eska, and he saves this young Namekian child, and he runs off to the Namekian Elder. So Vegeta states, that he has a troubled history with these Namekians, and he did them untold harm in the past. So this is one of, there's a lot of good moments here for Vegeta in this arc. This is one of my favorites, right? This is Vegeta reflecting on some of the stuff he did to Namekians in the past. Because in Dragon Ball Z, Vegeta, killed many Namekians in his search to grab the Dragon Ball for himself because he wanted immortality at the time. And Vegeta, the evil stuff that he did at the past, he still regrets a lot of that because now he's a changed man. He has his own family, and he regrets some of the decisions he made, especially when he was fighting under Lord Frieza's rule in the past. So Vegeta tells Goku, that he wants to take more for himself, right? And Goku's like, that, okay, sure, but be careful since we don't know much about his power. So Vegeta transforms into Super Saiyan, right, the golden Super Saiyan form. He flies at Moro, but Moro is easily able to, dodge, most of Vegeta's attacks, right? And the thing about it is, what's interesting here, remember, Moro is old. He has the appearance of a very feeble old man, but he's actually, pretty athletic for an old guy. Remember earlier in, the arc, right, it was stated that Moro does have martial art ability. He's still very strong, even without his magic powers. So, as Vegeta continues to attack Moro, right? Cranberry notices that Vegeta has the Galactic Patrol sign on his outfit, and Cranberry wonders when did Vegeta go and join the Galactic Patrol. So then we see Moro, right? He uses a little bit of magic, and he's able to use telekinesis to stop Vegeta in his tracks and kind of, force him to be stuck to the ground where he cannot move. So then he also uses that telekinesis power to fling Vegeta into a rock. And, Goku's not too concerned here because he knows Vegeta's just getting warmed up and he has a lot more power to show. So, Goku states that, this guy has special powers. But then as we look behind the rock where where Vegeta was, flung into, we see a nice red glare. And coming out of it, we see Vegeta, who is now in Super Saiyan God. And Vegeta, with a confident look on his face and no damage, right, he says, we shall continue this battle. So Moro tries to use more energy on Vegeta to stop his movements, but now that Vegeta's in Super Saiyan God, he's much faster now, so it's not going to be as easy for Moro to stop him like he did when he was in his Super Saiyan, his normal Super Saiyan form. Sorry, got messed up my words there a little bit. So the reason why Moro's magic isn't working on Vegeta at the moment is because Vegeta in Super Saiyan God is much quicker and much faster than he was in his Super Saiyan Golden form. So the energy that Moro is using at the moment is not enough to stop Vegeta's movements because he's much stronger and quicker. So we see Vegeta does land some attacks here, right? He's having more success now that he's using his Super Saiyan God form, right? And, Goku's pretty interested in how the fight is going. Moro is still able to, get away from Vegeta for a brief moment. And Vegeta comments that he was curious to see for myself what sort of beast could terrify the Galactic Patrol. But Vegeta states that Moro isn't any sort of beast. He's just a disappointment. So then we see Moro, he tries to use his telekinesis to grab a nearby tree and try to catch Vegeta off guard, but Vegeta easily notices and shuts it down with some ki blast, right? Moro continues using different objects, and Moro continues to send different, environmental objects at Vegeta, but Vegeta is easily able to, shut all of them down. Vegeta comments that we've come up against plenty of bizarre powers in our fights, so this is nothing new. So then we transition back to the ship, and Beerus is still concerned over Goku and Vegeta's safety, but Jakku states that there's not too much to worry about because Goku and Vegeta are very strong, and Jakku, with some funny lines here, Jakku has a lot of funny lines throughout this. And Jakku states that those two are very strong, even a little bit stronger than me. But even so, Beerus says it's very unlikely that they will win. So now we see we see Moro. He takes off the cloth that he had been wearing, right? and now we get to see Moro without the cape, and he's very skinny, but he's still very strong. And Moro tells Vegeta, right, you hope to witness my magic, and you will just as you wish. So we move into manga chapter now 45. This chapter is called Moro's Magic. And Vegeta comments like, what's that? You've been holding back. And Moro has another confident look on his face, right? So Moro states, to Vegeta, or Goku, or before that, Goku comments that, that they heard about how he can absorb life energy, just like how you tried with that Namekian kid a little bit ago. So Moro comments that you're not as arrogant as you look then, huh? So Moro tells Vegeta straight up to his face that this will be the same technique I performed a moment ago, but in a different way. So Cranberry, who's still watching on the ship, he comments that, is Moro going to use that same move he used when we broke out of prison? Alright, and one thing I kind of wish that they would show us how Moro broke out of the prison. But either way, still, it doesn't really matter too much. It just would have been a cool, little ad, right? So Mirror states that the existing records indicate that he can wield that master energy that he steals from planets for direct attacks. So that the energy that Moro steals from planets he consumes, right? He not only uses them to become stronger, but he can directly use that energy, to attack his opponents in battle. So we see Moro, right? It appears that he starts to power up, but we see legit. Energy from planet Namek itself and not Moro starts coming up from the planet. So Vegeta's like, what is this technique? And we see the ground from right under Vegeta comes up, and it catches Vegeta off guard, and he actually gets burnt from some of the lava from planet Namek. And Moro states that with this move, I attack with the life energy of the very planet we stand on, right? So then Vegeta's now having to play defense. Vegeta had the advantage a moment ago, but now he has to dodge because everywhere he goes, energy from planet Namek is being used against him, right? And Vegeta continues to get burned, his gi and parts of his face get these little burn marks onto them. So Vegeta then decides, to take this into the air because on the ground it's not safe. So Vegeta thinks he's out of harm's way, but then he looks behind him and there's still more lava coming up behind him. So you can see a very destructive battle is taking place. So the Grand Elder, who is away from the battle, but he can feel the rumbling, he says that the land itself quakes, and he wonders what sort of battle is taking place at the moment. So we see Vegeta is continuing to dodge Moro's attacks. He fires off a ki blast, but he's not able to get close to Moro because Moro uses the energy of planet Namek as a shield, right? Because he knows that if Vegeta, attempts to go through it, he'll just burn himself even more. So Moro gets confident and he says it's no use. No matter what you try, you cannot lay a finger on him. So Goku tells Vegeta, maybe it's time for me to step in. And Vegeta tells Kakarot just to shut up and just continue to watch, right? And Moro states again, right, that this technique has no limits and I may use it until the planet itself is extinguished. So Moro can use the energy of planets as much as he wants, all the way up to where there's no more energy on the planet itself, right? So Vegeta says, damn it, if I can't approach you, I have no hopes of recapturing you and sending you back to prison. And without any more power, I'm at a loss. So Goku notices that Vegeta, who's only in Super Saiyan God at this moment, it's like he's almost giving up in a way. So Vegeta's like, all right. So in a way, it's like Vegeta is admitting defeat, but he is playing a trick on Moro to try to figure out what his true motives are, right? So Moro does tell Vegeta what his plan is because he's confident that he already has the win here. So Moro says that he's come to Namek in search of something called Dragon Balls, and Vegeta's like, thought so, right? So Moro says, maybe you could help me here, right? Since you're so gracefully admitting defeat, maybe you can just help me and tell me where I can find these Dragon Balls. and Vegeta's like, sorry to say, sorry to say, I'm unclear on the details. So, Vegeta is purposely, lying here because he's trying to use Moro to figure out what his plans and goals are so that he can find a way to use that against him. So now we see Moro's like, oh, security, this is George. All right, you have a good night. Bye. So we see that Moro sends, some more magical attacks using Planet Namek at Vegeta. And as he does this, Moro said, "As I thought, you two are insequential." So basically, Moro was saying that they're not going to be any help to his goals. So he's just going to take the belt now and get this battle over with. Vegeta, right? He fires a ki blast at Moro's magic and is able to keep it in place. But then, after the attack is over, Moro appears right behind Vegeta with another magic attack, and Vegeta is barely able to dodge it. So then, as Moro fires another magic attack, Vegeta is forced to hold it back, and he's actually struggling. But Vegeta asks Moro, "Just tell me, what would you wish for?" Right? Because he believes that Moro is already strong enough as is. Why would he need more power? So Moro states, yes, even though I'm very strong right now, this is nowhere near where I was in my prime. At the height of my power, you would have been an insect before me, and this entire planet would have been a quick meal. So, because he's been in the Galactic Prison so long, he has aged, and the only reason why he's still alive is because of all the energy he absorbed tens of millions of years ago has kept him alive all this time. So his goal is to use the Dragon Balls to regain his full magic ability, put his body back in its prime, so he could be as strong as he was 10 million years ago. So Vegeta then gets confident, right? He stops acting dumb, and he's like, if that's your goal, you're just rotten scum like they told us. Scum that is worth killing for sure. So now Moro is like perplexed at this, like, what? I thought I had you on the ropes a minute ago. As Vegeta states this, we see Vegeta's body starts to change. His aura turns from red to blue slowly, going from his feet all the way up to his back, through his shoulders, to his head, to his hair. And we see Vegeta transform from Super Saiyan God into Super Saiyan Blue evolution like he used against Jiren in the Tournament of Power. So now with this transformation, he is easily able to get rid of Moro's magic blast. And Moro is shocked. He's like, you were concealing the strength the entire time? Yes. And Vegeta says yes, just like you were holding your true motives. So Goku gives Vegeta a pat on the back. He's like, good move, Vegeta, letting him get cocky so that he could reveal his true intentions. So now we see Moro, right? He's frustrated that he allowed this to happen, and he starts to fire off more magic attacks at Vegeta. But Vegeta, now much more confident, right, flies through these attacks and is able to dodge all of them pretty easily, right? And the visuals here are pretty amazing. So we see Vegeta glides through, most of Moro's magics using his, his feet, his hands. They get closer and closer to Moro, and then he's able to hit Moro with a huge kick to the gut, sending him into the ocean. So then we see Vegeta, right, he lands back, and he goes right back into his base form. But Goku notices that something is off. He looks at, a tree near him, and he notices that the tree is starting to slowly lose life. And Goku looks at himself, and he's noticing that something's not right here, right? So as Moro comes out of the ocean, right, Vegeta says he doesn't care what kind of villain he is, and it doesn't matter what kind of villain he is. He's not going to sit back and let Planet Namek suffer any more than it has in the past. So we see Cranberry, right? Cranberry tries to leave because he believes Moro is in trouble, and he's going to try to leave the planet before he gets caught and sent back to prison. But then Moro, right? Moro sends Ki Blast to Cranberry's ship and stops it in the way. So we see, right? Moro then sends more ki blasts to Goku and Vegeta to create a sort of a smoke screen. And once all the debris has, faded, we see that Moro is no longer there. And Goku is able to find Moro pretty easily. Moro is now on a mountain and he is gathering energy. But this is not, a normal ki blast, right? He's forming a ki blast full of energy from Planet Namek itself. And then you can see that energy is being used, and is being drained from the planet. So we see the Namekians; they are getting weaker and weaker. The planet is losing its natural resources. We see some of the younger Namekians; they're starting to fall unconscious because they are weaker than the adults, and their energy is much more quicker and easier to drain than them themselves, right? So Goku tells Vegeta, "Soon we just attack him while he's charging up his energy," right? But then instead of using the energy ball and sending it at Goku Vegeta, he consumes it just like he did when he was facing the Dai Kaioken when we had the flashback earlier in the arc. So Goku and Vegeta are very shocked to see Moro just eat a ball of energy. But we see that energy powers him up a little bit, and it looks like he has gotten stronger. Moro says this is the first meal he's had in a long time, and he says that it does the body good. So Vegeta understands that this is the way that Moro is able to, absorb energy. So Moro stops Cranberry's ships and says, where are you going? You continue to observe from there, right? Don't move another muscle. So Vegeta's like, okay, whatever, I've had enough of this. And Vegeta says it's better that, that we get this done and over with now before you try to consume any more energy. Vegeta confidently says that Super Saiyan Blue, is too much for Moro to handle, so he's just gonna go right back into Super Saiyan Blue, right? So he tries power up, but nothing happens. And Goku is like, come on, Vegeta, what are you doing, right? Stop wasting time. The only way you're gonna beat him is if you use Blue. So Vegeta says, yes, this is no time for games, and he tries to power up, but he can't, right? And then we go back to Jackal and Mears, and Jackal at that moment says that the planet that Moro absorbs includes the life force and the plants and the animals of the planet itself. So Moro can choose to absorb anything from a planet he chooses. He can absorb from plants, animals, people. He can choose to drain energy from one person, or he can choose to drain energy from the entire planet itself, right? And Mears reveals that the reason why Goku and Vegeta won't be able to defeat Moro is because they don't know that Moro is able to steal energy from his opponents while they are fighting. So no matter how strong Goku and Vegeta are, the fact that they don't know Moro can just steal their energy and drain them pretty quickly so that they aren't able to transform is the reason why Moro will have the advantage. So right at that moment, Vegeta states that he cannot go Super Saiyan, so Goku finally figures out that Moro has been absorbing their energy throughout this battle. And right at that moment, Moro flies down from the planet that he was sitting on top of, and he sends he sends Vegeta into a big mountain, or a big rock, right, sending him flying. Vegeta takes a lot of damage, especially now that he's in his base form. So Moro, now with the advantage again, he says that you are already aware that my magic robs a planet of its life energy, weren't you? Naturally, that included a healthy portion of your energy as well. So Moro gets confident and he says, to use a phrase that you used earlier in this battle, I was hiding my true intent. So now you have Moro just mocking Vegeta as he's confident now that he has taken control of this battle. Hey, it's George from What's a Unum, just checking in. All good down here. Thank you. So as we head into Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 46, we see that Namek is now in decline. So basically, we pick up from where we left off, and we see that Vegeta is now being flung through all these mountains, right? Especially now that he no longer has the energy to transform. So he is helpless at the hands of Moro. Goku steps in and tries to, land a kick on Moro, but it has no effect because Goku had his energy drained by Moro the same time that Vegeta was having his energy drained. So then we see Moro grab Goku from the leg, and he just starts flinging him back and forth, kind of similar to how Broly was flinging Goku back and forth during the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie. He sends Goku into different rocks, and Goku can't do anything, just like Vegeta could do anything because he cannot transform as well. Goku also gets sent into part of Moro's, Moro uses a magical attack, and Goku gets burnt from some of the lava from Planet Namek, the same way Vegeta did last chapter. Goku says that he's totally drained as he is heavily injured. So we see Vegeta, right? He flies off from the crater that Moro sent him in just a couple seconds prior, and he fires off a Gallic gun. But Moro, not concerned whatsoever, opens his mouth and he consumes the attack. So the attack has absolutely no impact as Moro grows stronger and stronger. So now Goku and Vegeta are on, death's rope really, because they have no way to fight Moro now that their energy has been drained and they can't transform. So now we are on Beerus' planet, and Beerus is, fishing, and Whis, who's looking to his staff, he's noticing that, Planet Namek is entering a sharp decline in energy levels, right? And Beerus gets excited because, a planet is about to die. And, it makes sense for Beerus to get excited because he is a god of destruction. Destruction is in his title, right? So Beerus states in a little bit of comedic relief that he has, no time to lift a finger here in Universe 7. So anytime, a planet buster or a villain comes around to do evil deeds, it kind of makes his job easier because this evil guy will just take care of some of the evilness in the universe and will make will keep Beerus from having to do anything. So basically, Beerus is happy that there's evil guys like Frieza and Majin Buu and Moro here that do these evil deeds, right? Because he doesn't have to destroy it because he knows these evil guys will do the destruction for him. So he can just relax. And Whis is like, yeah, you're saying that because you're so busy. And we know Beerus isn't busy. Beerus is a very lazy god of destruction. He just sits around fishing and, not doing much with his time. So, basically, we see Beerus and the Oracle Fish, right? They're talking about fishing and dares and all this other stuff. But Whis decides to keep paying attention to the battle on New Namek, and he sees that Goku and Vegeta are going up against Moro. He doesn't comment on the battle, but he just, looks at what's happening. So Goku says he feels bad about the Namekians, and he knows that they're going to get hurt by Moro and most likely lose their lives, but they have to get back to the Galactic Patrol if they're going to be able to live to fight another day. Goku tries to use instant transmission to get back to Jackal and Mirrors, but he doesn't have enough energy to use instant transmission because Moro has drained all his energy. So we see Moro sends another energy attack flying their way. Goku and Vegeta aren't able to dodge it. They get hit by it as it stretches through a lot of Planet Namek, and as we see, basically tons of houses get destroyed, and the Namekian village is totally devastated as there is nothing left. And the Ground Elder and a bunch of his people get sad because now they see that their village has been destroyed. So now Goku and Vegeta, both their armor has been destroyed, and they have almost no energy left to fight. So Moro, even though now he knows that he has the victory done, he's very, curious that these two individuals were able to give him such a trouble and that they were so strong, because he remembers that tens of millions of years ago, there were not people this strong in Universe 7. The only person that was able to challenge him this hard was the Daikaioship, the one that was able to seal Moro's abilities before. So then we see Moro comes down and he hits Goku in the chest with a huge kick, right? And Moro mentions to Goku as he tortures him, he says that him and Vegeta were never a threat to him to begin with. So he grabs Goku by the neck and he uses his other arm to grab Vegeta by the neck with telekinesis, and then he takes the energy from their neck. So basically, he consumed Goku. He consumes what's left of Goku and Vegeta's energy, and we see that it has a very large impact on Moro. He becomes much younger, right? He's no longer skinny. He becomes pretty jacked. He has a huge six pack, right? And his beard is much shorter. So basically, just from consuming the life energy of both Goku and Vegeta, Moro is able to get that much closer to his youth. And Moro sits there gloating about how much energy, right, he was able to get from both Goku and Vegeta. We see Goku and Vegeta on the battlefield. They basically look dead here. They are barely alive at this point. They have absolutely no energy left, and Moro leaves them there to die. So Moro and Cranberry, they exit to go start looking for the Dragon Balls and the Namekians, right? Cranberry asks if Goku and Vegeta are, dead, and Moro says that, those two will die in just a matter of moments, right? And, he could easily just kill them now, but, since they have no energy left, they'll just die in their own time. So we see the Grand Elder and Eska. He finds Goku and Vegeta sitting there, unconscious, pretty much lifeless, but he notices that they are still breathing, and he says, he tells Eska to give them medical treatment immediately. So we go back to Earth, and we see Bulma and Hercule, right? And Bulma is frustrated because it's already been a whole week since Goku and Vegeta left planet Earth with this Mirish guy, and they haven't been updated at all about what's going on in space. So Bulma shows Hercule, an image of the Galactic Patrol logo, and basically asks Hercule, did the guys that took Majin Buu, did they have this logo? And Hercule says yes. So Bulma says this settles it. The Galactic Patrol are the ones behind this. So Bulma heads off to her sister's place so she can get in contact with Jackal and try to figure out what the hell is going on. So back at Galactic Patrol headquarters, we see that Mirish and Jackal, right, they have arrived back, and they have been informed that Majin Buu is awake, but he's causing a lot of trouble in the town hall, talking about how hungry he is, and all the trouble he's causing. But Mirish, as he prepares to go check on Majin Buu, he tells Agent Iriko to keep the ship going because they're going to be heading back to Planet Namek any second to figure out what's going on with Goku, Vegeta, and Moro. So we head back to Earth, and we see Bulma. She's on the phone with Jackal trying to figure out what the hell is going on, right? And Bulma's very frustrated to find out that Goku and Vegeta just used instant transmission, and poof, they're away to go deal with this bad guy. So, So Bulma states to Jackal that if anything happens to Vegeta, she will make him pay dearly. And Jackal is like, why are you treating me like the bad person here, right? And then Hercule asks a little bit about Majin Buu, and Jackal, talks about how much trouble Majin Buu is causing on Planet Namek. So then we see Iriko, right? He gives Jackal an update on what's going on in Namek, and he informs Jackal that Goku and Vegeta are still alive. And he hangs up on Bulma on purpose, and Bulma gets really pissed off. And then Jackal immediately questions if he should call Bulma back and let her know what's going on. So as Jackal and the rest prepare to go back to Planet Namek to check on Goku and Vegeta, we go back on Planet Namek and we see a secret hut, right? It's a hut that Moro had not been able to find, but it's a secret hut that's basically hiding in the mountains. So we see Goku and Vegeta, they are in bed, right? and they're barely able to wake up. They're still heavily injured, but they are able to wake up. Eska has healing powers, very similar to Dende. So he uses them to try to get Goku and Vegeta conscious. He's not able to use them to the point where they get back to full power like Dende did on Krillin and Vegeta and Gohan back in the Frieza saga. But he is able to bring Goku and Vegeta back to consciousness. So Goku and Vegeta ask how much or how long they've been out for, and the Grand Elder states that Goku and Vegeta have been unconscious now for 3 whole days. So Vegeta is shocked by this information, and Vegeta asks what has Moro been up to during the whole time Goku and Vegeta have basically been napping. So the Namekians basically inform Vegeta and Goku that Moro's been attacking village after village, and basically Moro's already destroyed 3 Namekian villages, and he's on his 4th as they're speaking. So Vegeta finds out that now Moro already has 3 Dragon Balls. So then we see the Grand Elders, he gets even more concerned, and he notices that, there's more, energy and more people dying in the distance. So another Namekian village is being attacked by Moro. And now this is when we get some of the most violent scenes we've ever seen in Dragon Ball. So we see, right, Moro is at another village, and basically what he's done is he's surrounded the entire village with his magic. And he basically is sending the Namekians, right? He's burning them alive, throwing them into this fire. It's so violent, man, and it's just crazy. So basically, Moro states that there is no escape, for any of the Namekians here, right? Since the village is wrapped in flames, so the only thing that they can do to save their meaningless lives is to bring him the Dragon Ball. So Moro continues to kill Namekian after Namekian the longer they continue to not bring him the Dragon Ball. And Moro states that it is futile to resist. So Goku and Vegeta, they're trying to figure out a way that they can help, but they know that they have no energy, and Goku and Vegeta still don't have the energy enough to use instant transmission to, transport over to Moro. So the Grand Elder states that, it's not like they haven't been doing anything during these last 3 days. They've been gathering all the Namekians together, all the strongest fighters on the planet, right? And it's basically like they're using it as a last resort. As you guys remember back in DBZ, Piccolo and Kami, right? Piccolo and Kami and Nail, they all fused together with Piccolo. So basically Nail and Kami, their spirits became one with Piccolo's, as Piccolo not only became much stronger, but he also became much wiser because of fusing with those Namekians. So that's what we're seeing here. We're seeing all the strongest warriors from every villains on Namek. They're fusing together to make, the strongest Namekian warrior to have some sort of chance, right, to take down Moro for good. So we see here, right, we see a bunch of Namekians. They are flying over to where Moro is, and we see all these Namekian soldiers are fusing together to create a super strong Namekian warrior. The Grand Elder states when several dozen Namekians, fuse together, they result in a warrior that can defeat any evil that tries to threaten us. That's how, Namek has been able to survive for all these years. So we see, right, we see that this ultimate Namekian warrior, he has arrived to the battlefield, and he is coming up behind Moro to try to attack him. And we see the Namekians of the village, they get excited, hoping that this is their hope for victory. As the Namekian flies in to attack, he's never able to get a hand on Moro, because Moro, using his hand in what is a really badass scene, Moro, is able to impale this Namekian without even looking at him, right? So, absolutely wild. So you have this super strong Namekian warrior who was created by fusing dozens of Namekian warriors together, but he's not even able to touch Moro. Moro doesn't even look at him. He just impales him like it's nothing. Very, very violent scene, and we watch as this Namekian soldier unfortunately dies right on impact. And Moro, as the chapter ends, Moro says, "Apologies. He was dead before I could even see his face." Absolutely crazy. Crazy stuff here with Moro. So moving on into manga chapter 47. This chapter is called Stolen Dragon Balls. So we see here, right? The Grand Elder is now, falling on the floor in anguish as he can sense that, the Namekian soldier is dead. He wasn't even able to get a hand on Moro. So Vegeta's like the fiend, right? He's grown even more powerful than the last time that they fought. But Eska says Eska is over here, regretting that he wasn't stronger because he wishes that he was able to heal Goku and Vegeta back to their full power. But Goku tries to, inspire the young guy and says, if it wasn't for you, they would be dead, so it doesn't matter. But at this rate, Namek is doomed because Moro already has 4 Dragon Balls. So basically, Vegeta states that Moro's looking for East Namekian village one by one, just like Frieza did back in the Namek Saga. So basically, it's revealed to us that the 1-star Namekian Dragon Ball is where Goku and Vegeta are. And the thing about it is, it's not like Moro has a dragon radar. He's basically just sensing all the Namekians and, attacking them where, many Namekians are gathered. Because where many Namekians are gathered, that's where most likely you're going to find a Dragon Ball. So we see that Goku and Vegeta, right, they have the 1-star Dragon Ball staring right at them, and they believe that they should be fine for now at least because, since most of the Namekians in this village have already, passed away thanks to what Moro did earlier, it's going to be a while till Moro is able to, sense their presence. So, even though Goku and Vegeta don't have much energy, they come up with the idea that it would be smart for them to suppress their powers for now. Just so there's there's no chance that Moro will be able to hurt them. So we go back to the village where Moro was in the chapter before, and we see that all of these Namekian soldiers are dead. Right? Moro has killed every single last one of them. We see Cranberry, and Cranberry comes out with what I believe is the 5-star Namekian Dragon Ball. So Cranberry asks Moro if he can detect where the Dragon Balls are, but he doesn't answer because he's already searching for the next one. So Moro states that the next Dragon Ball is that away, and for him and Cranberry to take their leave. So basically, we go back to Earth and we head over to Kami's lookout. I'm just gonna call it Dende's lookout because Dende is the god of Earth, right? So Dende is able to sense that something is happening on planet Namek, but he has no idea what it is. Piccolo is able to sense it as well, right? And Piccolo notices that a couple days ago, he stopped sensing Goku and Vegeta's energies on Earth. So he knows that Goku and Vegeta are not on the planet. So Piccolo, and Dende speculate that maybe they left the planet to go help with a situation on planet Namek. Piccolo says that something is definitely happening and it's not good. So we see a Namekian. He's trying to run across planet Namek as fast as he can to get away from Moro. And unfortunately, we don't see what happens, but it's pretty much assumed that Moro killed this poor Namekian. So now Moro has 6 Dragon Balls. So he has 6 Dragon Balls. The only one that he doesn't have is the one that Goku and Vegeta have, where they're hiding with the other Namekians. So Moro is able to sense that the final Dragon Ball is near where they first landed on the planet, right where they left Goku and Vegeta. So basically, Moro, assuming, right, it's been about 3-4 days since he fought Goku and Vegeta. By now, Goku and Vegeta should be dead and their bodies should be decomposing. So Moro, he's not able to sense that Goku and Vegeta are alive. So he's assuming that when he goes over to, see or to to retrieve that final Dragon Ball, he should see nothing but Goku and Vegeta's decomposing bodies on the battlefield. We see Goku and Vegeta; they're wearing these long robes, and the Namekians bring the Namekians bring over Goku and Vegeta's old battle gear. So it seems like while Goku and Vegeta were knocked out, right, they were able to make a battle gear that was very similar to their normal gear, right? This is not their old gear remade. This was new gear that was made for them, but it's pretty much the same that they had before. So Goku is sensing that slowly his energy is coming back, and he believes with just a little more energy, he'll be able to use instant transmission to go get some senzu beans to heal Goku and Vegeta back to full power. But as Goku's saying that, Vegeta senses that Moro is on the move and that he's coming straight towards him because he wants, that final Dragon Ball. And Vegeta is able to figure out that, Moro is able to sense Dragon Balls on his own. So Goku and Vegeta, they quickly get dressed because they know that even though they're nowhere close to full power, they cannot just let Moro gain the last Dragon Ball. And they're willing to sacrifice themselves, if the time comes for that decision to be made. So we see Goku and Vegeta, right? Vegeta, right before he joins Goku on top of the mountain, Vegeta asks the Grand Elder, like, you know what I did to your people many years ago, right? And, do you have any ill will towards me for that decision? And then the Grand Elder reveals to Vegeta that, grudges and hatreds are only things that bring about, more conflict. And the Namekians don't believe in that. He just wants peace for their nation, that's all. So, it's not that he's forgiven Vegeta for, what he did in the past. But him and his people have chosen not to hold a grudge against Vegeta for his actions in the past. Because they don't want to have any more issues. And they're just hoping that, the Namekians and Vegeta from now on will be able to get along in peace. So Vegeta, as he joins Goku on top of the mountain, he tells Goku, if he survives, make sure to restore this planet to how it was before. But Goku says, of course I'll do that, but, it would be a miracle for both of them to walk away from this battle alive. So as Moro's getting closer to where the Namekians were, he's able to sense that Goku and Vegeta are alive, right? And he gets a little bit frustrated that, that they were hiding from him this entire time. So Moro makes a promise that he will, this time, make sure to kill Goku and Vegeta with his own hands, and that they won't be able to survive this battle. So we see Moro gets closer to Goku and Vegeta. Goku and Vegeta power up, right? They're still not able to go Super Saiyan, right? But, they're able to, power up to a certain extent. So, they power up and then they dash towards Moro's ship. So you get this really cool scene of Moro's ship flying right towards Goku and Vegeta, and Goku and Vegeta flying right towards Moro, right? But at their moment, as they're about to, head on collide, we see a ship basically stops Goku and Vegeta in their tracks. So we see it is the Galactic Patrol. It is Mieres, it is Jackal. They have arrived on planet Namek in perfect time. So we see Mieres using his gun, right? He's able to, destroy the engine of Cranberry's ship, keeping them from being able to fly anymore. So we see Moro escapes the ship, right? Because he doesn't need to fly. He has his own abilities. So we see Jackal, right? Jackal is flying on top of the ship as the, Moro fires Ki Blast at Mieres. But Mieres is able to use, the little jets on his shoes to fly and dodge Moro's attacks. So Goku and Vegeta are shocked that, Mieres is, being able to dodge Moro's attacks. So we see here that, Mieres is able to get close enough to Moro where he's able to do kind of like grab like a little, what is it called? Like a net. He's able to get a net that comes out of, his wrist, like, so I'll just call it like a wrist net, right? And he's able to, catch Moro with this net, kind of like how, someone that goes butterfly hunting uses a net to catch butterflies. So he's able to use a net to catch Moro, and Moro is unable to get out of this net. Then we see, Meares uses those jets once again to bring him and Moro back to the ground floor, and Moro is still unable to move. So Meares states that they developed this capture device just for capturing Moro himself, and Moro is mad, like, curse you, Galactic Patrol. So Goku and Vegeta arrive, and Meares is happy that Goku and Vegeta are still alive, unharmed, even though he has no idea how much pain Goku and Vegeta had to go through over the last couple of days. So basically Meares tells Agent Jackal that even though he has Moro pinned down for now, it's not strong enough to keep him hold down for long. So basically Meares states that they have to get Moro off planet Namek now, because he's not going to be able to hold him for long. This is only a temporary solution until they're able to find a way to keep him down permanently. So we see that somebody comes out of the ship, right? And we see coming out of the ship, we see Majin Buu. Majin Buu comes out of the ship, and he lands on planet Namek, but he doesn't land on the ground. He lands on he lands on Jackal himself. So pretty funny scene here. Jackal getting used kind of as like a whoopee cushion in a way. So Goku is shocked to see that Majin Buu is here, and that he's finally awakened. So Vegeta questions, is Majin Buu truly awakened this time? And Jackal's like, yes, he just woke up a little bit ago. He just has motion sickness from the trip over. So we see Majin Buu does wake up, right? And Jackal points Buu into in the way of Moro. So Majin Buu looks over, and he looks at Moro, and then it comes back to him right away. He says, I remember. And Majin Buu says, you're the bad guy that I caught millions of years ago. So Moro looks, and he recognizes Majin Buu as the Daikaio Shed. He's like, the great Lord of Lords? It can't be, right? How could you still be alive after all these years? So Majin Buu starts getting frustrated, and you can see the steam coming out of his head, and he's angry because Moro killed so many of his friends back then. So basically Moro gets very angry at the sight of Buu, and he's actually able by force to break out of the net that Meares had him contained in. So as Moro breaks out of the cage that they had him contained in, Moro gets angry, right? He gets angry because he has not forgotten what the Daikaiosen did to him all those years ago. Even though tens of millions of years have passed, all Moro has done is sit in the galactic prison, thinking about getting back his energy, getting back his magic, and being able to get payback on the Daikaiosen for sealing him away all those years ago. So Moro says, I have not forgotten the debt that I owe you. And Buu says, I didn't forget what you did. You don't get to pick on anyone anymore. And Buu gets very angry, and he screams, no more, and he dashes towards Moro, right? He dashes towards Moro. Moro uses the same energy shield he was using against Goku and Vegeta, but it has no effect. Majin Buu is able to fly right through Moro's magic shield. So then he sends Moro flying. He tries to impale Moro the same way he did to the Namekians, but one thing he doesn't know is Majin Buu is able to regenerate himself. It really has no impact. The only way to defeat Majin Buu is to destroy him entirely, right? Just destroy him to the where he cannot regenerate. So we see, right, Moro, even though he believes he has Majin Buu defeated, Majin Buu smiles and he sends Moro flying and he easily regenerates himself. Then he sends some ki blasts over to Moro using his mouth, right? And Moro tries to guard against him. And Mirrors is shocked that Moro has, or not Moro. Mirrors is shocked that Buu has all this energy and he is actually able to do some type of damage against Moro. But then we see Moro, right, he starts draining energy again. He tries to send him flying at Majin Buu. Majin Buu is easily able to kick it away. Then we see Majin Buu, right, he is able to get on top of Moro and is able to send him flying with a huge downward punch. And Vegeta notices that Majin Buu's energy levels are not dropping at all. And it seems like, Moro's energy absorption doesn't have any impact on him. And then, Goku is now confident that because Moro can't absorb Majin Buu's energy the same way he was able to do the Goku Vegeta, Buu actually has a chance in this fight. So, we get into now chapter 48, and we see it's titled Moro's Wish, right? So the battle between Majin Buu and Moro continues. Majin Buu tries to hit Moro with the beam, kind of the candy bean, right? That's the bean he uses to turn people into candy. But Moro is able to dodge it. So we see Moro is struggling heavy here with Majin Buu. Majin Buu lands on Moro's gut, and we see Moro yelling in pain. Moro just starts Buu starts pounding on Moro with punches, constant punches, pow, 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 pow. Classic Majin Buu, right? Majin Buu gets angry, or not angry. Moro gets angry, and he sends a mouth blast that takes Majin Buu's head off, right? But of course, we know that Majin Buu is able to regenerate. And we see Majin Buu is actually able to regenerate using his head. So it was like he was able to use his head. He was able to move his head away from his neck and was able to generate it through his arms. And these are really cool, but some wacky visuals. And he's able to send Moro flying once again. So we see Moro is heavily damaged now, as he's having a lot of trouble dealing with Majin Buu's power. And I love seeing Majin Buu here, because we don't get to see him in action a lot, especially in Dragon Ball Super. So this is some cool stuff. So Goku and Vegeta comment that they haven't seen Buu fight in a long time. And Goku comments that even though Moro's magic isn't working on him, it also seems that Buu's gotten a lot stronger since the end of the Buu saga. So Mirrors speculates that maybe unlocking the memories of the Daikao Shen of his battle with Moro from millions of years ago, maybe it unleashed some latent potential inside Buu and made him much stronger. So we see Buu continues to dominate Moro, sending him through mountains and rocks. And now Moro is like, he's having regrets now at this point. He says if only he had his full magic powers, he would be able to devour this entire world, and Buu would have no way of beating him. So we see, Moro yells here, right, as he's frustrated of how much he's struggling with this battle. And Buu says, like, making excuses now, you suck, right? And he doesn't like people like that. So then we see Buu, he does a technique where he expands to having about 6 different arms, and he comes flying at Moro, pounding him away with punch after punch after punch. So as he's hitting, so basically he's not hitting Moro once, he's hitting him 6 times at once constantly, because instead of having 2 arms, he has 6 arms. So imagine all those punches coming at you at one time. I can't wait to see this stuff animated, bro. So Goku and Vegeta, right, they are very, very, very surprised that Buu is actually winning. I love the look on Vegeta's face here, as he's shocked to see how much success Buu is actually having, right? So, Mirror states Moose tells Boo that he should use that technique now while Moro can't fight back. So we see, right, Boo is happy. He puts his hand up, just letting everyone know that he's enjoyed the fight and he's enjoyed this pounding away at Moro. And this is a really cool visual. So basically, the six hands that Majin Buu was using earlier to pound away at Moro, those hands are pounding at Moro without Buu actually hitting him. So Buu is standing there, while these six hands are just fighting him alone. So that's really cool. So it's like Buu can kick your ass while not kicking your ass. So I absolutely love it, right? So Jackal, comments about how Boo's fighting with his hands that are not even attached to his body. And Jackal's like, what can Boo not do? So we see Boo, right? He grabs some of those hands and then he uses them to pin Moro to the ground so that he can't move. And it looks like Boo is preparing the same sealing technique that the Dai Kaiosen used on Moro many years ago to seal Moro in place, and it'll also take away his energy once again. So all of a sudden, as Boo is about to use the technique, Moro remembers it right away, and he says, "No, not that move." But as that's happening, we see that Namek gets dark, and Goku and Vegeta know right away why it's getting dark. That means Porunga has been summoned. Porunga has been summoned, and most likely this is Cranberry. So we see, right, Cranberry has. It looks like Cranberry has found Eska, and by himself, right? Without Moro, we see that Cranberry has killed the rest of the Namekians and has gained and gathered all 7 Dragon Balls. He also has like a special translating device that he uses on Eska. So it's a special translating / possessing device where whoever he puts that device on, that person is now possessed, and he can also use it to translate different languages that he doesn't speak, like Namekian. So Cranberry knows that for the Dragon Balls to work here, you have to be able to speak Namekian, something Frieza didn't know how to do, of course. So Frieza could never get the wish that he wanted. So we see the Grand Elder, right? He's still barely alive, and he's trying to move to save Eska and stop Cranberry, but Cranberry, basically kills him using a laser blast. So Cranberry says that I might not look much, but I used to be an elite in Frieza's army. These old Namekian farts and some kid are no match for him. So basically, Goku and Vegeta have figured out that Cranberry has summoned the dragon, and they have to be able to stop them somehow. So Moro also notices. He hears Goku and Vegeta, so now he's also figured out that Cranberry is now using the Dragon Balls for his own motives. So for the first wish, Cranberry uses the wish to have Porunga heal him, because it took everything for him to be able to defeat the rest of the Namekians and to possess Eska. So he tells Porunga to heal him, and Eska being possessed translates this in Namekian. So we see Cranberry is healed. So then Goku and Vegeta's like, they can't let Cranberry make any wishes. So Goku and Vegeta, they leave the battlefield to go try and stop Cranberry. So Moro, right, knowing that he's busy dealing with Majin Buu and he can't get there in time, he uses telekinesis to get into contact with Cranberry, and he tells Cranberry to make the wish for him to regain his full magic power, right? And Cranberry now is sitting there, he's contemplating, not making the wish. And Moro's like, what's the delay? What are you waiting to, right? And Moro informs Cranberry that those 2 from the Galactic Patrol are, coming to him, as they speak. So Cranberry knows that Goku and Vegeta are, on their way. So Cranberry asks, what about my wish to escape to some outlying planet where he can, live the rest of his life in peace, right? So Moro hears this and he gets frustrated. So Moro says, "Know this: double cross me now, and you will never know true peace. I will chase you down to the ends of the universe." So Cranberry knows that if he doesn't, make the wish for Moro to gain his magic power back now, it's not going to be better for him later, and that eventually Moro will be able to find him and get payback for, double crossing him. So Cranberry makes the wish for Moro to regain his full magic power. So as the wish is granted, right, Jackal, Miris, Boo, they have no idea what's going on, but all of a sudden Moro's body, changes immediately, and Goku and Vegeta can sense that Moro has gotten way stronger all of a sudden, and they know that Moro's wish of gaining his magic power is back. So all of a sudden, right, a huge explosion takes place. Moro is able to escape Boo, and he is able to fly straight past Goku and Vegeta, right, using his new speed, which is absolutely crazy. He's so fast that when he catches up to Goku and Vegeta get sent straight down to the ground, because that's how quick he is. So now we know that there's one wish left, and Cranberry is about to make the wish, so that he's about to make the wish so that he can be put on a planet where nobody will be able to find him, and that he can live the rest of his days in peace. But right as he says that, we see that Moro has been impaling my bad. As Cranberry is about to make the wish, we see that Moro is able to come up behind Cranberry and absolutely impale him in another brutal scene. And we see right away Cranberry is dead. And Moro thanks, Cranberry for his services, but, he's not going to be able to get his wish today because he has a second wish of his own. So we see Cranberry sits there and he dies, and he speaks into the helmet Cranberry had that he was using to translate, right, to Eska, so Eska could, speak in the Namekian for Porunga, and he makes this wish. But the thing about it is, we don't know what that wish is. It's not revealed to us yet. So basically, Jackal, Miris, and Boo, they know that something's going on. Iriko comes with the Galactic Patrol ship, and they all hop aboard so that they can go after Moro and try to stop him. So the final wish is made, but like I said, we don't know what that wish is. So Porunga says, "Your 3 wishes have now been granted. Farewell." We see the Dragon Balls, they scatter back all across Namek, and we see the sky go back to normal. So Goku and Vegeta finally arrive, and Goku is very, very angry here, and he wants to know what the hell is Moro's wish. He also sees that all other Namekians now are dead. The same Namekians that saved Goku and Vegeta's lives just a couple days before have all been killed, right? And Goku is pissed off, right? And now Vegeta wants to know what the hell was Moro's wish. They know his first wish was to gain his magic power back. But they know there was another wish. What was it? So Moro states, right, that they'll know what his last wish was soon enough. And right at that moment, we see the Galactic Patrol arrive. And Moro, now that he's confident that he is so strong now, back with his full magic abilities, he states that there is no need for him to continue battling, Goku, Vegeta, Miris, and the others. So he uses his magic abilities to disappear and escape from Goku and Vegeta. And we see that Moro is now on a mountain where, they cannot see him. And, he suppresses his energy and is able to, dash away. So, as they're all trying to speculate where Moro has gone, Majin Buu comes out and he says that Moro is still here. His magic power is back, but that's different from pure strength. That's why, Moro's new goal now is going to be to drain the entire planet and consume one more meal before he leaves planet Namek for good. So we see, right, Boo is able to heal Eska. You know, he takes off the possessive device that was on his head and is able to heal him. And you know, Eska is still alive. Unfortunately, Boo can't heal the others because they are all dead. But then, you know, as Eska is happy to see Goku and Vegeta and see that they are still alive, you know, they start noticing that the planet is starting to shake. And that is Moro. Moro is starting to suck the energy of Planet Namek dry. So, Vegeta notices that, you know, now he's draining Planet Namek faster than how he was before. So, right at that moment, right, we see Majin Buu, he puts his hands on both Goku and Vegeta's soldiers, and all of a sudden, you know, Goku and Vegeta are back at full strength. So, Majin Buu had a, you know, like a healing technique in a way, able to restore, you know, Goku and Vegeta back to full power. So, you have Senzu beans, right? You have Dende, you know, able to heal. Now you have Majin Buu with the same ability to heal as well. But right at that moment, we see that Majin Buu is no longer there. It's the Dai Kaio-Shen. The Dai Kaio-Shen has switched places with Majin Buu, right? Because they believe the Dai Kaio-Shen will be able to help them more in this situation. So the Dai Kaio-Shen tells Goku and Vegeta he'll be switching places with Majin Buu until Moro has been defeated. So, basically, the Dai Kaio-Shen tells Goku and Vegeta they have to stop Moro now before Planet Namek is completely devoured. Anyway, we see Goku Vegeta right now that Goku is back at full health. He can use instant transmission once again, and he finds Moro's energy and he uses instant transmission to depart with Vegeta and the Dai Kaio-Shen as they head off to, you know, go defeat Moro before he drains Planet Namek. So Beerus, as you know, they depart. Beerus says that he has faith in Goku, Vegeta, and the Dai Kaio-Shen that they'll be able to stop Moro before it's too late. So we see now, right, with the start of manga chapter 49, we see it is titled Outer Space Battle. So this is a battle that is taking place in space. So Beerus and Jackal and Eska, they noticing that Planet Namek is being completely dried, right, as Moro is, you know, very quickly draining energy from the planet. So basically, right, we see Goku and Vegeta and the Dai Kaio-Shen, they have found Moro and they transform. So Goku and Vegeta, they transform into Super Saiyan Blue. Dai Kaio-Shen powers up and they fly at Moro, but they aren't able to hit him. So basically it's an illusion. So Moro, now with his full magic abilities, right, he's able to make illusions of himself so people aren't able to tell where he is. So we see, right, Goku and Vegeta, they're trying to hit him, but they continue to fail because we find out that Moro is continuing to making more and more illusions of himself. So Goku comes flying, or Goku attempts to go flying after Moro, but it's revealed to us that Goku can't do anything. Goku can't head off to Moro because Saiyans can't fight in outer space. This is something that we've known throughout the entire Dragon Ball series. Goku can't go after Moro because if he does, he'll just, you know, he can't breathe in outer space and he'll just fall and die and perish. So the Dai Kaio-Shen doesn't have that worry, so he flies after Moro. So we see, right, once again, we see the Dai Kaio-Shen, he tries to hit Moro, and this is the real Moro this time, this is not an illusion. And Moro states, like, you dare to wear that face in my presence, Dai Kaio-Shen. So Moro, right, we know that he hates the Daikaoshen, because he was the one that sealed him away all these years ago, and he's ravishing in the fact that he has his full magic powers, and now this time he's going to be able to defeat the Daikaoshen himself. So he takes control of the fight. He's battering, the Daikaoshen all over the place, and Goku and Vegeta can only watch helplessly because they can't, fight in space. So Goku and Vegeta are standing there, and they lose sight of the battle because they're fighting so deep in space now. But then we see that Miris, Jackal, and Iriko, they're back in their spaceship, and they pick up Goku and Vegeta so that they can all go track what's taking place with the battle together. So we see that the Daikaoshen, he is firing ki blasts all over the place to try to get Moro to come out of hiding, right? But right when the Daikaoshen fires off a huge ki blast, Moro comes out of hiding just to open up his mouth and consume that energy. And we know every time he consumes energy, he becomes far stronger. So then we see Moro comes flying at the Daikaoshen with a headbutt, hits him with a huge left hand. And Moro states that, the Daikaoshen's abilities confuse him. And now that, my power is much stronger than yours, it doesn't matter what he does, they're not any threat to him. So Moro is now curious. He's like, did something happen to him in the last 10 million years? Did you become weaker, or did I just become too strong now that I have my magic powers again, right? But the Daikaoshen states that Moro will come quietly back to the Galactic Prison, and that if he resists, he'll seal off his magic right again. But Moro is confident that it's not going to have any impact, and no matter what the Daikaoshen tries, he will fail. And, Moro now is confident that Daikaoshen is so weakened, right, because of Moro's attacks, that he doesn't have enough power to use the sealing spell again. So, Goku and Vegeta, right, they're back in their base form, and they enter back into the Galactic Patrol ship, and Goku states that Moro is getting stronger and stronger as this battle goes, right? And if he keeps draining energy and keeps getting stronger, he's going to be way too strong to the point where they won't be able to handle him at all. Because remember, earlier Vegeta was able to handle Moro using Super Saiyan Blue Evolution. But Moro has continued to get stronger and stronger throughout these chapters as he's consumed energy and regained his magical abilities. Back in the ship, right, they're speculating on what they can do to take down Moro. And basically, Miris says, that he believes that the Daikaoshen is unable to execute the sealing technique he used before, because Majin Buu attempted the same technique on Moro in the previous chapter. So basically, what Miris speculates is that something happened when the evil part of Majin Buu split away from the good part of Buu, right? So basically, they're talking about, when, and you guys notice, back in the Buu saga, we saw the evil Buu, he split away from the fat Buu, and they became two separate entities. So Miris explains that the good Buu inherited, the Daikaoshen's physical appearance, and he received the God power as well, but maybe that power went to Evil Buu instead. So remember that. That's going to be a big key. I want you guys to pay attention to that, right? For those who have not, read the Moro arc before. Pay attention, because it's telling you here that even though the Fat Buu, and we know the Fat Buu is very, very strong, even though the Fat Buu is strong and he inherited the physical appearance and conscious and memories of the Daikaoshen, the true power of the Daikaoshen, right? The God Key, because the Daikaoshen, he is a god at the end of the day, that power got sent to Kid Buu. So that's the reason why Kid Buu was he was so evil in Dragon Ball Z. Or not evil, that's why Kid Buu was so strong, right? Because remember, if you go back and watch Dragon Ball Z, after Kid Buu appears, right? After after Goku and Vegeta free Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, and Goten, right after they free uh, right after they free those guys from Boo, who had absorbed them earlier, and we see Boo, he transforms into Kid Boo. Goku and Vegeta are confident that Kid Boo is nowhere near where he was before when he had Gohan, Piccolo, Trunks, and Goten absorbed, but he was actually even stronger. The reason for that is because Kid Buu had God Ki. So Fat Buu inherited the Daikaiosen's appearance and his conscience, but Kid Buu inherited the God Ki that the Daikaiosen had. That's why Kid Buu was so strong. The thing about it is that Kid Buu didn't know how to use that God Ki, right? Kid Buu was kind of an idiot. He was strong, but he was an idiot at the end of the day. So he was not able to make full use of that power. So that's why the Daikaiosen was not able to do the sealing technique on Moro. So then we go back to the battlefield and we see that Moro has full control of the Daikaiosen, right? The Daikaiosen tries, getting behind Moro to get a sneak attack, but Moro is easily able to block all these attacks. He hits it with a huge kick that sends him flying all the way back down to Planet Namek. And we get a flashback, right? We get a flashback to the end of the Buu saga back in Dragon Ball Z, and we get to see Goku prepare the Spirit Bomb on Kid Buu and killing Kid Buu, right? So the Daikaiosen is able to realize, right? The Daikaiosen realizes that back then, when he was killed, so was his power. But you guys gotta remember something. Oob was reincarnated as the good version of Kid Buu. That's gonna be a huge key later in this arc. And I'll let you guys know about that when we get there. We still got a long way to go here. We're not even halfway through the arc yet. But the Daikaiosen realizes that when Kid Buu was killed, so was his god power. So yeah, if Fat Buu had inherited the god power from the Daikaiosen, it would have been a whole different story. Majin Buu would have been easily able to defeat Moro. But the god he got sent to Kid Buu. So hopefully that makes sense. I know that was kind of tough for me to explain, right? Because it's easy to get confused there. So Vegeta states that, using sealing spells and techniques like that, they never actually get the job done. It's always going to take brute force to take someone like Moro down. So Goku agrees with Vegeta, and they have to figure out something right there. So Goku and Vegeta's like, there's nothing they can do here. So Miras asks Goku and Vegeta, So Miras asks Goku and Vegeta, if they can defeat Moro at full power, right? And Vegeta states that yes, easily, him or Kakarot can defeat Moro in Super Saiyan Blue if they have the chance, right? So Moro, it's like, all right, fine, I'm gonna find a way to bring Moro back down to the surface. So basically, Moro puts on Miras puts on a spaceship, and he tells Goku and Vegeta that they should return to Planet Namek because Miras plans to bring Moro back down to the surface very shortly, right? And Goku asks Jackal why he's not backing Miras up, right? And Jackal says he won't because he's scared of outer space. So we see, right, the Daikaiosen, he is heavily injured. And it looks like Moro is about to finish the Daikaiosen off, but at that moment we see Miras in his cool spaceship. He uses that same net that he was able to capture Moro in earlier to stop him, and he's able to use the net to kind of maneuver Moro in a way back down to Planet Namek. But it takes him a while, right? It takes him a while because the Daikaiosen is pretty weak. He's no longer at full power. So basically, Miras comes up with a plan with the Daikaiosen that together they're gonna bring Moro back down to Planet Namek, but using instant transmission. But Mirrors needs to wait for, or not, or that the Daikoshin needs to wait for Mirrors to signal. So we see Mirrors, he fires off like a dart attack at Moro, and Moro's just like, "Are you really using toys on me?" But Moro has no idea what Mirrors is planning here. So Moro is easily able to dodge these little dart attacks, right? And he's just like, "I can't," like Moro's like, "Really? This is what we're doing? Like, stop with this nonsense, man. Stop with it." So Moro gets frustrated as Mirrors continues to attack him, and he sends a ki blast his way. Mirrors is easily able to dodge it, and what he does is Mirrors is able to use his netting attack to grab a big rock, and he sends it at Moro to try to distract him. And right at that moment, as Moro is destroying the rock that Mirrors sent flying at him, we see that Mirrors using his the jets in his souls, he's able to get close enough to Moro where he sets off the jets, and they actually explode in Moro's eyes. So it's kind of similar to like Goku's solar flare attack, but it's used completely different here, right? Mirrors uses the souls on his feet and fires them off in Moro's face to blind his vision, and at that point that allows the Daikoshin to get behind Moro, and they're able to use instant transmission to get them back to Planet Namek. So Goku and Vegeta, right, they use instant transmission as well, and they both get back to Planet Namek. And once again, now they are ready to fight. They are ready to fight. They're ready to fight Moro 101. So Goku steps up, and it looks like Goku's now gonna get his turn to fight against Moro, because remember Vegeta got to fight Moro first, back in chapter 43. So now it's Goku's turn. So basically, right, Goku and Vegeta are now confident that just using Super Saiyan Blue, they'll be able to take Moro down. But the thing about it is, Moro is not concerned, because Moro believes Goku and Vegeta have forgotten some very some very important information, and that is Moro's third wish. Remember, Moro did make a third wish, and that wish was not revealed to us on screen. What was the wish? What was the wish? Right? And we're gonna find out here in the next chapter. So let's get into chapter 50. And like I said, guys, if you guys are enjoying this, this narration of Dragon Ball Super, the Moro arc, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell next to my name, Fist1 TV, so you guys are notified every time I post a new video, man. I'm trying to do this. I'm not gonna do the whole arc in one take, but so far up to this point, if you guys have been listening throughout the whole thing, this has been all done in one take so far. So if you guys could subscribe, and if you guys could hit the like button, right, I would really appreciate it, man. I'm gonna drink a quick. Let me get a quick glass of water, bro. Oh my gosh. Hey, George from Worcester Unum is checking in. All good down here. Thank you. Alright, here we are. Dragon Ball Super Manga Chapter 50, right? The Great Escape. So this chapter starts off back at the Galactic Prison, right? This is under the jurisdiction of the Galactic Patrol. This is where the Galactic Patrol hold, all the prisoners that they, that they apprehend. So we see, right, we see a bunch of the Galactic policemen. They're looking back in Moro's cage, and it's seen here that Moro's cage was basically separated far off from everywhere else, right? Because they knew that Moro was easily the most dangerous guy in the prison because of his magic abilities, even though he didn't have them available to him at the time. So they're checking out his cage and they're looking, talking a little bit about how he was able to escape, right? And we get to see, the Mariachi gang from earlier in the arc as they are, being they're being brought into, their new home, right? And basically, they're talking about how some of one of the Galactic policemen mentioned, right? Pasta says a life of crime is the only life for us. So even if they were one day to be set free, they would go right back to doing bad things because that's the kind of life they enjoy. So the Galactic policeman is like, wow, they actually love this type of life, right? No matter what. So back on New Namek, we see all of a sudden we see something going on. Something big is going on. So from New Namek, right, on planet Namek, we see some big, kind of like a meteor in a way. We see a huge blast comes flying from New Namek all the way to the Galactic Prison. And all of a sudden, things start blowing up, right? It's like a huge earthquake is taking place inside the prison. Then we see that the cell barriers are taken down. All the chains that were on all the prisoners are unleashed, and all of the prisoners are now, they're kind of shocked at what's going on. We see that the power goes out inside the prison, and the Galactic policemen are like, this is bad news. Something bad is going on. And then we see an individual, right? He's sitting in his cell, and he looks like a musclehead, and he's like, you really pulled it off, Lord Moro. So it's like he knew that Moro had something up his sleeve that had something to do with the Galactic, with all the Galactic prisoners being set free. So we see, right, Pasta, he's wondering what's going on, and he also speculates that this was Moro's doing. So we see some of the Galactic policemen. They're trying to get in contact with Galactic Patrol HQ, but the power is out, so they're not able to make any contact with anybody. So we see all these Galactic prisoners, right? They're all free now, and we see a lot of havoc is starting to get unfold. We see that as the policemen are trying to use their guns to try to create some order here, we see that big muscle man guy, right? He takes the gun and he starts bashing some of the policemen. He goes up to the Galactic Patrolman and he says, I know our spaceship's here and you're going to hand it over to us so we can get out of here. And, of course, the Galactic Patrolmen have no choice but to do what they say. So basically, this big man, his name is Sir Gambo, he tells everybody else in the prison, you're coming along for the ride as well, right? So we see Pasta, right? Him and his gang, they decide also to follow Sir Gambo as they're all escaping the Galactic Patrol. So we see Ichigo, Mirrors, and Jacko. They're back on the ship as they're traveling back to New Namek, and now they're finding out that all the inmates at the Galactic Prison have staged a massive prison break, right? So a lot of stuff are going crazy. So then Eska remembers, right? He remembers that Moro's third wish is was that he demanded for every prisoner in the Galactic Prison to go free. That was his third wish. So the three wishes were Cranberry used the first wish to heal himself. The second wish was for Moro to regain his magic abilities. And the third wish was for all of the prisoners of the galactic prison to be set free. So right as Moro reveals what his third wish was to Goku and Vegeta. Goku is in shock, right? And Goku's like, "You let them loose, but why?" And Moro states, "Here they come." And then we look up in the sky and we see that there's a huge ship. A huge ship arrives on planet Namek, and we can see that it causes a lot of trouble. So Goku and Vegeta sense that there's a lot of energy signals inside the ship, which we all know are the galactic prisoners. So we see the ship kind of causes a huge explosion as it lands on the planet, and Goku and Vegeta they have to take cover. And then we see all of a sudden that Moro is no longer on the battlefield, but he is on top of the ship talking to Sir Gambo. Sir Gambo, gives his loyalty to Moro, and Moro is happy that Sir Gambo brought a small army with him. So, Moro made a promise to Sir Gambo that if he, helped him, he would make it worth his while. Moro says, "As promised, I will share my power with all of you." So Goku and Vegeta are wondering what the hell Moro is doing up there, right? But all of a sudden, Goku and Vegeta notice that everybody on the ship, all the energy signatures that he was sensing, they had all gotten stronger. And Goku speculates that this is Moro using his magic again. So all of a sudden, right, we see all of these galactic prisoners come flying out of the ship onto the battlefield. So now Goku and Vegeta not only have one energy to fight, but they have tons of prisoners now that they have to fight, and a lot of them have had their power boosted by Moro to a certain extent. So Moro, basically orders them, right? Moro's like the commander of this army now, and he basically tells these convicts, have at them, right? Go after Goku, Vegeta, and the Daikao Shen. So you see Goku, Vegeta, they are at full power now, so we don't have to worry about that. Goku and Vegeta, they transform into Super Saiyan Blue. Daikao Shen, we know he is heavily injured, so it's not going to be as easy for him. But we see he does his best, and we see Goku and Vegeta fighting the convicts. So far, right, Goku and Vegeta, they're able to hold their own, really, because even though they're going up against many enemies at once, they are using Super Saiyan Blue, so they're not having too much trouble here. We see Goku firing off some ki blasts, Vegeta firing off some kicks, and so far they're doing, decently well. So the prisoners, they state that these aren't their everyday Galactic Patrol guys, and they're very, curious on how they got this strong, right? And Sir Gambo states, not for them not to give up, because if they give up here, they'll be sent right back down to prison. So we see as Goku, Vegeta, and the Daikao Sen continue to be fighting, Goku and Vegeta go right back into God form. And basically what's happening here is they look in the sky and they see that Moro is draining energy. But the thing about it is, Moro is draining energy from planet Namek and Goku, Vegeta, and the Daikao Sen. He's not draining energy from any of the convicts here, right? Because he wants them to have, as much of, a chance as they can. So still, even though Goku and Vegeta, they're slowly losing their power, they're still able to fight. We see Sir Gambo, he jumps down from the ship, and it looks like we're about to get Goku versus Sir Gambo, and right at that moment, as Goku was about to fire off a right hand, we see Goku go back from God form into Super Saiyan 3, and because of that, right, he wasn't prepared to lose that much power in that moment. Sir Gambo was able to hit him with a clean left hand. So Vegeta sees Goku down, and he tells Goku to get the hell up. What are you doing? But right at that moment, Vegeta gets put right back into his base form, and he gets hit with a punch as well. So Goku and Vegeta, they get back up, and now they see that all they can use is their normal Super Saiyan forms, because Moro is draining their energy at a very, very fast rate. So, basically now they're back in their Super Saiyan forms, right? And we see that the Daikao said he is struggling a lot as well because he wasn't able to heal himself earlier because he has been fighting Moro the last couple chapters. So he is in, a very, very bad state, and things are not looking good for Goku and Vegeta. So, basically, Goku asks Moro, what's your goal here? Like, what's the point of all this stuff? Gaining your magic powers, making this army? Like, what's the end game here? And it's revealed to us that Moro's goal is to create a galaxy where he is free to consume planets as he wishes. So gathering all these allies is one step towards that goal. So Moro basically just wants to be able to consume planets as much as he wants with nobody able to oppose him. No Dai Kaioken, no super strong warriors, no Galactic Patrol, nobody. So this is all for Moro's own selfish, goals. And basically Moro states that all those who wish to strive for a galaxy with peace, should be eradicated. So Moro doesn't want peace in the galaxy. He just wants destruction, and he basically wants to turn the universe into his own personal buffet, right? So then, right at that moment, we see Goku and Vegeta. They go back from Super Saiyan back into their base forms, and now they have no more energy left to transform. So it's basically right back to where we started here, right? Moro draining their energy, and now Goku and Vegeta not being able to fight. So Jackal and Mirrors are watching from above, and now they have to get involved as well as they see Goku and Vegeta are in trouble. So as they come to try to make the save, Mirror states that, defeating Moro is impossible at this point given the circumstances, and that they must retreat no matter what, right? So we see Asuka, he tries healing Dai Kaioken to the point where at least he's conscious. He's not able to get his full energy back, but the Dai Kaioken is able to wake up. And, Sagamo's wondering, like, who are these people? So Sagamo grabs a gun to try to, take down Mirror's ship, but Mirror notices this, and he's able to fire off his gun in time, stopping Sagamo from his attack. And the thing about it is, Sagamo's like, how the hell was, Mirror able to hit him from that distance? So, how is Mirror able to have such accuracy with his attacks, right? So, basically, Goku still has enough energy to use instant transmission, but he doesn't have a lot of time. He doesn't have a lot of time because he knows that Moro is draining their energy, and if he doesn't use instant transmission soon, he's probably not going to get another chance to do it. So, Mirrors tells the Dai Kaioken to use his own instant transmission to warp back to the Galactic Patrol, and Goku tells Vegeta to grab on as well. But the thing about it is, Vegeta's reflecting right now. And Goku's like, this is not the time to reflect, If we wait any more time, we're not going to be able to get out of here, and we're most likely going to be killed. So, Vegeta's like, stupid magic spells, stupid god power, right? We're saying, we pride ourselves on our physical might and nothing more. A warrior race has no need for parley tricks. So all of a sudden, Vegeta tells Goku that this is where I part ways with you. Go on ahead, use instant transmission, get out of here, right? So all of a sudden, Vegeta departs, and he heads off towards Iriko's ship. So Goku, like, he has no, time to wait anymore as he sees the galactic prisoners about to land on top of them, and then Goku is barely able to get instant transmission off in time. So they depart. So basically back right, we see Vegeta, he flies open to Iriko's ship, and he tells Iriko to open up. Back at the Galactic Patrol HQ, we see the Galactic King in a funny comedic moment. We see that the Galactic King, he is taking a shower, and Goku, Vegeta, and not Vegeta, but Goku, Mirrors, and Jackal appear right in front of him, interrupting his shower. So Mirrors asks, what did Vegeta mean by all that? And Goku's like, I don't know what he could be thinking, right? But it probably has something to do with defeating Moro. So, basically, we see as the other galactic prisoners are now trying to attack Vegeta and Iriko uses a Nitro speed boost to get him and Vegeta away from the galactic prisoners. So then, Iruko plans to head back to the Galactic Patrol, but Vegeta pushes out his hand like he's about to take out Iruko. But no, Vegeta is just being Vegeta here. He's telling Iruko, we're not going back to the Galactic Patrol. We're going to where I want to go. And Iruko says, okay, where do you want to go? We're going to planet Yardrat, right? So this is where I would say this is where the first third of this arc ends. There's 3 different parts of this arc, and this is where I would say, part 1 of the arc, reaches its finale with Goku and company, leaving New Namek, right? And, Vegeta going off to planet Yardrat, and Goku going off with Miras and back to the Galactic Patrol. Goku and Vegeta would take 2 different paths from this part going forward, and that's where part 2 of our story will start to take place. Alrighty.